What is up, guys? Yandere Neko here, and we got a new death battle, Shigaraki versus Mahito. Now, this is a tough one because, on one hand, I'm a massive My Hero Academia hater, so I don't want Shigaraki winning. But on the other hand, I'm still salty about Gojo versus Makima, so I don't want Mahito winning either one. Ooh, that's loud. Now, just for the records, so I can be 2-1 this season, Shigaraki should... Okay, yeah, I'm still recording. Shigaraki should win this, right? I mean, not only does he have a massive stat advantage, but because Vestiges are basically souls and all but name, he can harm Mahito. Because Mahito's only real argument was that, well, quirks are biological, not spiritual, so we can't really equalize quirks and curses in the same way we can, say, chakra and magic if we were to do Naruto versus Asta, right? That being said, the only way Mahito wins this is if we deliberately interpret things to help him exclusively. We assume that Vestiges aren't souls, yet at the same time assume Shigaraki has a soul Mahito can manipulate. We'd have to deliberately make assumptions that benefit Mahito, but I'm not happy about either series, but Shigaraki should win. Also, did they release this early? I thought it was supposed to be a Sunday
Shigaraki versus Mahito.
The symbol of fear versus the human disaster curse.
He's whiz and
those names go ahead,
and
not
it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death
battle! Okay.
Tenko Shimura was just a sweet, shy boy who loved superheroes.
But sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet, shy boys.
Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his hero-hating father.
See, this right here is why I don't like My Hero, right? For the first 2/3, it had the most Disney Channel, Mickey Mouse writing in tone. Then for the last third it goes try-hard edgy on us. Where was this from the start? Probably would have enjoyed it a bit better. I mean, not really. Never liked Deku's battered wife attitude towards Bakugo, but you get the point, it's sudden ass tone shift. For the better, mind you, because I hated the Mickey Mouse stuff in the beginning, but oh shoot. That did not happen.
Tenko Shimura was just a sweet, shy boy.
Yeah, shy boy gets beaten by dad.
Abused by his hero-hating father, Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits until he activated his inherent super.
Also, if I sound nasally and poop, I've been cat sitting, so my sinuses are
power or quirk.
It wasn't something cool like flat.
Alright, he's an epic game. Actually, no. Both these games I hate.
Or super strength. In his terror, he accidentally killed his whole family. Well, except for dear old dad. That one was intentional.
Tenko wandered the streets alone, silently begging for anyone to help him. If only a hero was there to save him. But instead, the only open hand he found belonged to the devil.
All for one.
So
the greatest
edgy.
super villain in history.
He took Tenko under his wing, feeding a hatred of everyone and everything, and grooming him to one day lead his league of villains in destroying hero society.
With that came a new name, Vtuber Shigaraki, and an absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay. It does what it says on the tin. Anything Shiggy touches with all 5 fingers turns to dust.
He's doing the give me your phone meme.
Power for someone who just wants to destroy. pretty menacing. If not for
Anyway,
that dorky
disintegrates
ass
physical
costume. I
man.
get it, hands are his thing, but come on, he just looks so dumb and fake.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands from his family that he killed.
Again, like, you have Disney Channel writing, and then you have this. Like,
face. And
I'm gonna be honest, Shigaraki almost feels like he shouldn't be in My Hero just because of, like, how totally different he is.
Explicitly commanded to be left there by his mentor so that he would never forget his rage.
Okay.
While his use of decay started off relatively weak, it rapidly increased in power and range as Shigaraki came into his own.
Decay isn't even limited to whatever he's touching. Anything that touches something he's
What I hope my model is okay, good, there's no effects on. Sorry.
decaying also decays.
Spreading like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything
this time
from
using
an enormous
emotions
tower
with
to an
it,
entire
so.
city.
If decay reaches you, your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After years of training
like,
with the greatest
they
superhero of all
were
time,
cool, very
Shigaraki was
edgy,
finally
but-
put in charge of his own team with one mission. He must kill his master's rival, the #1 hero, All Might.
Only to fall flat on his face.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered,
Yo, Toga!
short-sighted, and, well,
Cringe. Oh, he's
No,
just so
no. Go back.
terrible.
Believe wise my hurt eyes. Toga. You know, Yandere's never get treated right. It's such a shame.
Leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and, well,
cringe. Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say normie in real life, in front of normies.
but they say defeat is the greatest teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction.
Right as All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya,
Boo! You
was
suck!
coming into his own as well.
These two rivals, the inheritors of their master's blood feud, would push themselves past their own limitations.
Especially when All Might and All for One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains all by himself.
And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations to create the Paranormal Liberation Front. Thousands of new soldiers for his personal army.
All to impress All for One's personal quack, Dr. Ujiko, who spent months upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei's. It might have been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad.
Ujiko's experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength,
very
speed, and
cool.
durability, enough to match and surpass even.
See, like, where was any of this from the beginning? Like, I'd actually have stuck with the series if it wasn't like the Mickey Mouse.
All Might's absurd power.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were able to punch an island-sized hole in a cloud that reached 24 miles into the sky. We've calculated that before to be nearly 80 million megatons of TA.
Yo, shout out to Asta, you know, that's a real protagonist.
Indeed, almost as much as the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even catch laser beams.
And he's tough enough to survive Star and Stripes' Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch. Now the new name for my penis. Move over, gigantic Omega
that's
Story.
actually-
Anyway, it also made a blast so big it showed up against the
Yo,
curvature
was
of the Earth.
that was like a real callback. Shoot, when was Gigantic Megastorm? That was like season 5.
Though he might seem invincible, when Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became
Like,
oh, shit.
Akira.
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh into existence, seemingly oceans of it in an instant, whenever he wants. He can even use it as a type of armor to defend himself in close combat.
But that's nothing compared to Ujiko's greatest gift. Shigaraki wanted to be the new All-for-One, so what better way than the old man's quirk?
All-for-One's quirk, All for One, allows its user to steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All-for-One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Shigaraki also takes just sheer versatility, like Mahito kinda just loses on every front.
Connected to a memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Kinda like a piece of their soul.
Though create for biological vestiges are described with being souls. Okay, yeah, so that means Shigaraki can decay souls.
They exist in this kinda psychic world in Shigaraki's body and can even act as a spiritual defense should it be invaded.
And with those vestiges came quirks like super fast healing, air blasts, radio waves, flight, telekinesis, teleportation of others.
Hold up, so does the vestige is retcon now mean that Deku loses even harder to Asta? Cause that'd be funny as fuck. Not gonna lie.
And the ability to track foes.
He can even combine multiple quirks together, like in this big-ass electric Kamehameha.
However, any vestige stolen or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped. Because Shigaraki also got All-for-One's vestige, that means All-for-One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's entire existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tenko's grandmother.
Huh?
Oh, that to mess with All Might. That is some next level hating right there.
He manipulated Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All for One to take full control.
But All for
Damn, the framing of this actually makes the series sound much harder than the Disney Channel. Sorry, but like it just was such Mickey Mouse energy at the beginning. It really was.
Wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to the top, literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last time.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki was too far gone.
Another
his spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying all.
And that's only multi-continental, by the way, not planetary My Heroes Alive.
One's grudge for good.
Like, still massively above anything in JJK, but
all that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he was raised to be, and not the broken, angry, crying little boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was.
If you say a friend, rage quit.
Really all about. He got a hero who tried to save him.
Oh, thank God they didn't say friend.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
Great sponsor.
He slew his brother Abel and
not gonna lie, gotta take him. No, never mind.
In his fields with his blood, man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
But what if this fear took on a life of its own?
What if all that negative emotion humans felt for one another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming over time a living being fueled by malice, which believes in nothing but the law of the jungle?
Well, then you'd have the special grade curse with the patch face, Mahito. Oh, I've had people tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many mojitos.
Mahito is one of the deadliest beings to ever afflict
he's a Tolkien fan, let's go.
He's no mere mortal though, but a cursed spirit. Innumerable spirits exist, weaker or stronger depending on the amount of anxieties, jealousies, hatreds, and fears humans feel about them.
Like the fear of locusts, kinda weak, or the fear of smallpox, getting stronger, or the fear of fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
So it follows that mankind's fear of itself would be extremely powerful. Those negative emotions manifest as Mahito, a being composed of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil ki. Cursed energy can be used to make spirits way stronger, faster, and tougher than any normal human. And it's invisible, making curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation.
Which kind of removes that advantage, you know. It's only a death battle.
Can galvanize a normal person to see a cursed spirit.
That also makes cursed spirits virtually immune to physical damage. They may be physically present in space, but can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter like cursed energy.
Which makes curses insanely hard
but Decay can kill spirits, so...
get rid of, like ghosts, cockroaches, or my ex. That's why you need a jujutsu sorcerer to come in and kaizen the shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but I like the way I said it better.
Curses and sorcerers have battled each other for millennia, waging an endless war over the fate of humanity. Almost exclusively in Japan, though, for some reason.
But Mahito is special. You see, most curses are basically dumb animals, but Mahito has so much cursed energy that it gave him sentience.
So he was recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special-grade disaster curses to wreak havoc upon the world.
Don't have too much to say about JJK right now. I'm kind of just listening.
Mahito, their leader.
And even more frightening than intelligence and bloodlust, Mahito possessed philosophy.
Perhaps informed by the tragic
I had a roommate that was
conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also makes him kind of a goofball. If nothing matters, why not have fun with the slaughter?
You know, I can respect that. A man who loves his job, you know. Not a lot of people love their jobs, so...
Really get your steps in. He loves to dig around and toy with your emotions like a cartoon character before slitting your throat.
An appropriate analogy considering his curse technique, idol transfiguration.
Using his cursed energy, Mahito can control anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, the soul and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets Mahito squash, stretch, and shape-shift his body into literally anything he wants. Like Play-Doh, he can turn his limbs into blades or clubs, grow wings like a bird or fins like a fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clones.
Curse users are
like, I will give Mahito this. He is clever with what he can do, but yeah, he just gets stat stuff.
Unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are instantly fatal.
And since he's attacking...
Yo, body modification. We talking about a battle shonen or a hensai? Oh, sorry, I had to do that joke.
Your soul, those physical wounds are gonna be impossible to heal.
Even if his alteration isn't directly fatal, the human body won't last more than a few moments in a transfigured state.
All that with one touch! God, I thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean Mahito treats humans as effectively disposable dolls that he can gleefully experiment on. The more casualties, the better. Especially if he gets to break your spirit first and watch you suffer.
See,
even
what a
more
swell
twisted
guy.
is when he combines two transfigured humans together for soul multiplicity. Essentially a giant torrent of body horror flesh that he repels at an opponent. Yeah.
Mahito is unbelievably creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different curse techniques.
Yeah, but he's still like a Season 1 or Season 2 villain fighting the final boss of Battle Shonen, so bit of an uphill battle.
Like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like a mother, it restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes moving nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound.
Okay, well that's faster than any... Actually, no. I think some people put him at light.
Surprised then that Mahito also unlocked the pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the domain expansion.
Oh shit! More hands! A domain is like a barrier of cursed energy, but if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idol transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection, the ultimate expression of Mahito's absolute control over his victim's body and soul. The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji a barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him.
The king of curse.
See, that's where Shigaraki's multiple vestiges should give him the win. He's immune to,
Sukuna, which meant Mahito's ability affected
domain.
Both souls in Yuji's body. Sukuna didn't like that. No surprise, and kicked Mahito's ass, forcing Patchface to fight with a handicap
Domain
whenever
expansion.
facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value of human life flew directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be cruel and meaningless. So he made it his mission to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him, murdering his friends, defiling their corpses, and brutally battering him before going in for the kill.
And he's
just like me for real.
Have the strength to do it. Mahito's
me if I ever get my hands on Deku.
One of the most powerful curses in the world, and his growth is exponential.
Fellow disaster curse Jogo was able to summon a massive meteor capable of reducing the city of Shibuya to ash.
That'd take an energy of over 800 kilotons of TNT.
Not even close.
And Mahito can take
to what Shigaraki's capable of.
As good as he can give, especially when, in the throes of struggle against Yuji, he evolved, unlocking a vastly more powerful form. The instant body of distorted killing.
Complete with armored exoskeleton and arm blades, this was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into. A true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In a bitter battle of resolve, Yuji won out. In a dog-eat-dog world, there was now a bigger wolf.
So he tucked tail and ran away like a bitch. And what do you know? Life suddenly became a whole lot more meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
All that gleeful nihilism, just a bitter hypocrisy in the end.
For him, maybe, but Mahito found a convert in his archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He may not have been around to see it, but the curse Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees.
You know...
Hey, do you see that join button? Yeah, that one. That's your ticket to being a Death Battle champion.
Okay, well... Alright, well, on to the fight. Ooh, starting off bloody, nice.
I'd heard of a powerful...
Ooh, hand-drawn, let's go.
My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us. We could use a freak of your talents.
Little old me. Do I want to be king of the social rejects? How about I bring him your head instead?
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition. Sickum.
Yo. This is clean, guys. Yo.
Game over. Did you actually just say that.
That's what I was thinking, but... Whoa, you freaky ass!
Audition over. Did I get the part?
Yo, that goes hard. Best meme so far of the episode. Bro, these are some freaky people.
What a rush!
Well, popped super for him first. Actually, it's sort of simultaneous.
That all you got? Domain expansion.
Yo, this is just like...
I can read your soul. You're just a scared little boy whose daddy is mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Yeah.
Hands off my masterpiece.
Well...
I felt your soul too. You only hate humanity because you were born that way.
Whoa.
Totally random.
GG's.
I hate them for a reason.
And...
You grow up.
Well, GG's. 2-1 this season.
What did I say, Wiz? Like a bitch.
With their complex power sets, this match was a puzzle to figure out, which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories: physical stats, survivability, and their powers.
But first, let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed
Yes.
energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with the search
You know,
Shigaraki
like
would have
a
had
death
no problem
battle.
tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest. Despite the disaster curses being able to destroy entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was calculably millions of times stronger.
Yeah, one's city level, one's multi-continental. It's,
Faster, too, considering he could react to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound.
which is about 200 times slower? 200, 300.
Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster.
Oh,
Shigaraki.
shoot. Well,
Big stats.
yes, I
But
was wrong.
survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However, Mahito is a curse and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out. Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability
Wow.
via idle transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial question. Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or
Okay.
would Mahito's unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down with idle transfiguration?
It all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idle transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idol transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary quirk. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again, vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the real world.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact, sorcerers that couldn't naturally target the soul were able to fight him on even footing. No reason to think Shiggy wouldn't decay him like everyone else.
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge.
Yeah.
It was a unique duel to the death, but Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable powers, and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
Nothing else to say. You really gotta hand it to Shigaraki.
The winner is Tomura Shigaraki.
I wonder what the next time's gonna
Next
be.
time on Death Battle.
I don't. Oh, fuck! It's Doom Guy Deuces in Halo. Yeah, Doomsdayer just takes that. Well, please like, share, and subscribe if you liked this video. Comment down below, and please check out my Austin Power scaling video. I'll catch y'all next time.